Okay, so Flex2B is PO driven, and to make it easier to use, we can daily work with, we can better said, create POs automatically on a day-by-day basis. And you can even do that as a forecast to the future, so that you can, in the beginning of the week, make a list for the complete week if you want to, and to deliver to the forklift drivers Monday, that PO, Tuesday, that PO, and so on and so on and so on.
I suppose from the beginning we have to use day by day, PO by PO, until we get, again, we know that they're using correct.
Yeah.
And when we get to the point, then we can do for a week even.
Yeah. That's up to you.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of short way to get the PO as not start the full kind of
So we go to the, as a super user, as a power operator, per operation we're going to define whether it yes or no needs to be in that automatic generation. So we click on Master Tables in the Administration tab, Operations and Types. And now we will select the operation that we will use and whether it will be included, yes or no, in this field over here. The check mark includes in a daily scheme of production order generation. So, for instance, let's take an operation. We call it PC, and let's indicate the TDC. TDC was temperature degrees Celsius, but you do it for each and every that you want. So basically PC HRV, PC IWH, PC WKG for the weights, PC TDC, but also for the depletions that we're going to use, such as PD, produce destruction on, how did it call, LN1 I think, line 1, things like that. And also maybe for the dumping of the produce when we have waste that we need to get rid of. So PC TDC, I'm going to do a find operation because I know that it has already been defined. We see a lot of properties, but for this auto generation part, the last one over here includes in a daily scheme of production orders and generations is important, so I check this one so that it comes through, and I click Save and Continue. So when I now generate as a mass generation my PO numbers, it will actually include a new PO per date for this PC TDC construction. Okay, suppose that I've done all my operations that I want to include. That's a one-time thing you need to do. It might change in the future if you want to include some additional ones, but it's a one-time thing. You can close down operation type view. And now we go to the general creations and depletions module in Flex2B, which is in fact this light brown palette icon that you can use over here. Or you just pass with the Home tab, Creations and Depletions, and you select this one, Creation and Depletion Extended. This is the base view. This is the extended view, because your additional properties of print or possibilities of printing in mass from a particular line and your bullet generation, you need to take the extended module. So clicking here or clicking here is actually the same. Also look at the titles over here. For the supply chain, I'm having an inquiry, I'm having stock in operations, I'm having stock out operations, I'm having handling operations, and I'm even having stock unit harvest detailed characteristics. which is a typical motto for the farm at your place in Kildare. So, creations and depletions, click, here we are. And what we now can do on a weekly base, for instance, that is, we just go to that tab which says Edit PO functionality. So you can make one manually if you want to. And do I need to show how a manual is done or not? Just for the video?
Okay.
No, for the video I should show the lot.
Yeah, so the PO number may be blank, it is auto-generated as a sequential number. The cool store is, the default cool store will be defaulted. If you have multiple plants, like for instance that you had a secondary plant in Dublin for instance, you might select a new plant. An operation date, you can define it on whatever date that you want to do something with it. You generate it. You need to indicate a shift. There are many shifts. Yeah. So let's just take the day shift for instance. Yeah, as a shift we're doing now as a sample. ERP PO number, that is, suppose that you want to export this information towards an ERP system, like for instance Sage or SAP or whatever. Then you can enter the ERP PO number in that, which can be complete different number as what we are using in Flex2B ourselves. Now we need to define the operation, and in the operation we have basically two big blocks. One is constructing produce and the other one is destructing produce. So let's say that we're gonna create something. It's better to create something than to deplete or destroy something. And we want to do it and we want to give it a certain name. Let's just take MAN and hopefully it exists. I can just tap through with it. It doesn't exist. Packaging creations maybe. Let's take something. I have no idea what to take.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Third-party products, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just tap through with it, and it will ask me whether I want or whether I do not want to save this new header. I'm gonna save it, and it will immediately give me a PO number. So for the actions that need to occur in the production or in the yard, depending on that type of operation that you do for your process flow, your operation is mapped to a part of the process flow, you can attribute that 10,433 number to your forklift drivers or to your PDA users, who will just enter it over here in the screen whenever it's asked. So, for instance,
With PO numbers, is there kind of going to, there is 10,433. Is there any limit to the PO numbers?
yeah.
So if we go to the limit, what will happen next?
Then you need to call my grandson.
No, but there is
Yeah,
some,
yeah, but
the end number, yeah, okay.
well, it's a figure of 12 figures long.
Okay, okay.
So the
So
moment
there is
that
very long, okay.
yeah, the
And
moment
it's numerical, it goes 10, 40, what's that, 3, 44, 45, 46.
Yeah, it's going
that
the
way.
sequence,
Yeah,
okay.
we just started at 10,000. Yeah, otherwise you would have that harmonic on the number. While starting at 10,000 stays for rather many years in the same blocking size. That's the only reason why we started at 10,000 last year.
But also if they create one after another, they're gonna be very easy to say that there was 4 operations of the day, so there should be 6, 7, 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Or whatever is the sequence. So
Yeah.
if it's only 3, that we didn't include one of the operation, or we didn't give the PO to one of the operation,
Yeah.
which they have placed on
That's
the site.
That's completely up to you.
Okay,
Yeah, that's customer
No,
driven.
that's something that's
Yeah.
to check. So if you
Yeah.
if you check one, you are able to check around.
But you know,
as
they
the-
come in the next day if they're only on 45 and you should have been on 47, you know by
Yeah.
looking at it straight away, they're looking at
that something happened. Yeah.
Yep, correct.
Mhm.
And sometimes it will block because it says that this operation cannot be done on that type of operation.
Yeah, but usually it go in seconds.
Yeah, but the software will, there are certain things where one thing excludes the
Okay.
usage of another operation. Suppose that you say Friday afternoon I'm gonna make all my POs for
Next
next
week.
Monday, so I can hit that edit PO functionality, click, and over here I just need to enter two things. So remember, per operation I just indicated these need to be included in an automatic generation scheme. Yeah. So this one can be deleted. This is nothing. This was a former test. So 1406 next Monday. I thought I said next Monday is the 13th. Yeah, but I just by testing use something on the 14th. You see?
Yeah.
So
It has to be 14th. Yeah.
no.
Or they can.
I'm gonna take the 15th, which is
Okay.
a Wednesday, just to keep it a little bit open. So for the 15th of June,
Yeah.
for Cool Store PBP1,
Yeah. So the
you
site,
only have
yes,
one, but
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. Secondary, you can generate it for two
Yeah.
separate Cool Stores.
Yeah.
I just hit the generate button,
Okay.
click. It's already done. Yeah. And right now, here in my list, on the bottom side, I'm having all those automatically generated POs. A little bit too many, maybe.
With
Yeah. So we need to clean up something not to be included.
Okay.
But see over here.
So generate for all the, so that means the P, if you put the add to, where is that? Functionality,
Yeah.
they will create the PO for every operation they are located on the system.
No. For every operation where the check mark, yeah, that we
That
just
you- that
managed
we
to
selected.
put on, for
Okay.
those it will be done.
Yeah,
For
okay,
the,
so
for the ones which are
Yeah.
not checked on, it will not be generated. So the only thing what you need to do is to look like you just said that this SM1 to SM4 are not used
They
anymore.
has to be, yeah, which
Oh,
or
okay.
is
As a
activated.
sample, we're going to do the same for the 16, but let's take the SM4s out,
Yeah.
for instance. Remember, this is my demonstration machine. In Kildare, you need to do it yourself again.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go to administration, operations and types. So it was the SM1. Why doesn't it say so? Was it SM1?
SM1.
I don't see it in the list.
You have SME or maybe
SME is there.
SME.
Yeah. PC. Ah no, it's PD SM1. Sorry,
Alright,
my mistake. So
that will be destruction
yeah,
process,
PD,
not creation. Okay.
produce instruction SM1. Now it will find.
Yes.
And you see this one.
Yeah.
We check it off and we save it. Yeah. SM2.
Yeah.
Check it off. Save it. SM3. Check it off. Save it. SM4. Check it off. Save it. Of course, yeah, you might just want to run over the complete list because it's my test system now, or the copy of your environment as it was. there's no sense that we're going to do the exercise now because in Kildare or in Nace it's not updated, so you need to do it anyway. But as an example, so I saw over here on the 15th that it created those SM1, you see? Yeah, SM1, SM2, SM3, SM4. Let's do now the same thing for the 16th. And we generate it. Done. And for the 16th, it shouldn't say SM1 anymore.
No.
The SM4, which is here, is from the 15th, you see?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's now 16th.
Oh. So it's basically that simple.
That's original.
And it can make life much easier
Yeah.
because I think you can live with it to do this 5 times per week and have everything generated. But if you really need to go over all operations, which you can, which was the intention that it has been designed, and suppose that you have auto-generated some things, and for a particular day you need an additional operation that you just rarely use, you can do it on the top as we just did.
If you created that PO, they can be deleted or not?
When
Create and it's
when
not
a
used.
PO has no stock units on it and it's older than 7 days, then you can clean it. You do it in the same tab. You see it over here.
You
Clean
can change the date and use for the next day.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
So it's better
Maybe,
to do the clean that way,
yeah.
but do the clean. Okay.
What you do that is after 7 days, and that's for the people who wanted to make for a complete week produce order.
Just in case when we go that way and we create the PO for all operation, and in the meantime there's something happen and the one of the creation or depletion it's not in use. So instead of all the POs on the line and there is no stock allocated, then
you can clean it.
clean
Once they're
it.
7 days old,
Yeah.
the numbers can be deleted if you want. Remember, you just asked for a certain PO number, so we're just gonna go a little bit back, whatever, just while tapping. Yeah, I'm having here creation on ULMA 1, whatever it may be. Once such a PO header has been generated, you see that the only thing that I can change is the connection to the PO number of the ERP system. All the rest has become
They're staying as it is.
unchangeable. Why? Because there is an intrinsic combination between cool start, operation date, shift, type and operation. So I cannot generate a second combination exactly the same. So there's one unique PO number for this combination. I can change the date, or I can change the operation, or I can change the shift. And then the combination can generate a new number, but the combination of all those things are quite unique.
So if one of them is changed, there is new PO.
Yeah, correct.
And we can't change one to existing one.
Once one has been created, all the properties stay. You can only clean it after a week
if it's not
if
in use.
no pallets were attached or addressed by it. Even if you create a pallet and deplete it afterwards, you might think virtual there was no pallets attached to it. Well, there was. From operational point of view, there was a pallet attached, so you cannot clean it anymore.
Okay.